What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ringside Geeks. My name is Dave, and welcome to the premiere, the best in wrestling podcasts, radio, internet speaking stuff. Yeah, we have all the abs like Tony Nese.
Woo!
And none of the hair. I have nothing. I got nothing. Anyway, joining me this week...
That's the weirdest intro.
That's what I was going for. Joining me this week is Tom.
How you doing, kids?
Also joining me, as always, is John.
Hey, and the champ is here.
And we would be remiss to forget the First Lady of Wrestling, Monroe.
That's me, Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah. And then Maria, she was the First Lady of Ring of Honor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, lots to cover this week. We're gonna dig into a special segment as we do from time to time. This week it's going to be all about NXT and the success of that particular brand within the WWE. They seem to get it right more often than not, and they don't really fail unless I'm wrong.
I don't recall one.
It could. Somebody could bring it up. Something I'm forgetting or missed or whatever. We'll get into it for sure. But yeah, let's talk the week in wrestling all together. All the stuff that went down. I will let John and Monroe start things off because there was a big event over the weekend. We won't dig into it today because we kind of did it already. But the Hell in a Cell reaction episode. So if you're looking for us to react to that, I direct you all to YouTube. On our YouTube, we did a live reaction post show. It was about a half hour. I will try to get the audio and turn it into like a mini or something, and that way it's in the podcast feed as well. But just head over to YouTube, our YouTube page, and you can check out our reaction to the pay-per-view itself. We'll of course talk about the fallout from SmackDown, but for the pay-per-view itself, you can get our thoughts and feelings post-event immediately by heading over to YouTube. But there were other events this weekend, including a New Japan pay-per-view. So I will allow John and Monroe to kick us off in that arena.
Sweet. So I'm assuming neither of you guys had the chance to catch that one yet?
I've made it through some of the undercards, and they sucked. Sorry.
Okay. Did you get to the Roppongi 3K debut?
I did not.
Okay.
I did see the new Tonga debut.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe
it wasn't
his debut, but yeah, he did not look ready.
No, he wasn't. Tom, how about you?
I have not. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, no, you good. So yeah.
Wait, was I not being honest, Tom? Do you think I was lying?
No, I could have lied and said, yeah, sure, I'm halfway through.
You're a real son of a bitch.
Yeah, like Dave did.
Yeah, like
I'm not saying Dave. I could have easily just said, yeah, man, it was awesome.
Yeah, there were Japanese wrestlers and some Canadian guys, and
yeah,
this one guy in a mask and some face paint.
a lot of hard hitting forearms,
some strong style in there.
Some knee strikes.
So you did see it.
Yeah, see, we nailed it. Keywords,
That's
Tom.
It.
Keywords.
King of Pro Wrestling is the last major stop before Wrestle Kingdom. There's going to be another smaller event headlined by an IC title match in November called Power Struggle, but it does not feature an IWGP Heavyweight Championship match as King of Pro Wrestling does. And this was the show headlined by Okada versus Evil. A match that I know Monroe and myself were looking forward to very much. They went a little extra on the entrances and the production value of that event. There was a great video package beforehand. And
if I'm not mistaken, maybe Monroe can correct me on this, but everything is evil, right?
That is correct.
Everything.
Okay. All right. Please continue.
Subateo. I butchered that.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah, Monroe, I'm going to toss it to you because I know you were extra excited to see your guy in the main event. Do you think he delivered? What does the future hold for Evil? Were you impressed? And what did you think of the whole presentation in general?
Yeah, I was blown away by the presentation. I did not expect that at all. I knew this was a big match, and I'm really excited that they treated it that way with the entrance and everything. I mean, he had a really great entrance, y'all. It was Undertaker-esque, but better, however you want to look at it. But it was awesome. And the match was even better.
She says? Better than Undertaker?
I mean, it was really cool.
All right.
I mean, it was cool. I mean, let's think about Undertaker's last entrance, by the way. Anyway.
Well, the man's only had about 1 billion of them, so...
Well, I'm not talking about...
That's fair.
It's better than every single Undertaker entrance there ever was.
All right.
There was less limping in this one.
Right.
Nice one.
Probably less jobbing.
No, the match was awesome. I really think this match told people, hey, Evil is a main eventer. He went out there and proved it. He is awesome. He has gotten so much better. He has grown so much in the ring, into his character, all of the above, and he really showed it in this match. And then Okada was Okada. That's all he needs to be. And, yeah, it was awesome. It definitely exceeded my expectations. So, yes, very impressed by everything.
Sure, and I was talking with a couple other wrestling fans who noted that, Evil, his character kind of, it breaks all language. Like any language can understand what Evil's all about. You can watch that, you get his character. So, with a company that's trying to expand globally, I think that he's going to be a big part of it just because he's so easy to understand and, it translates really well.
Can I ask you a question, John?
Yeah, sure.
And this isn't meant to be an attack or anything like that because
I
just know what your opinions are based on. So I need to ask you this because he's very much a character.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes.
So I need to ask your opinion on that. Like, how do you feel about him overall?
Well, see, the thing is, I think that aside from his character, he's like the prototype, the guy I would build a lot of wrestlers in the same vein of, because he has the character, but he can also really go in the ring. And for a guy his size, I mean, he's not necessarily the smallest guy either.
Right.
So he has endurance, and he can put on 20, 30-minute matches with the best and make them convincing. His G1 match was probably a little bit better. But this match was still really good. It's just that the fact that everybody kind of knew Okada was going to win did take away from it a little bit. I'm going to say that. Still, though, I think that Evil, while he does have such a strong character, I think that only adds to the fact that he's such a talented pro wrestler. And I think he's still got room to grow, too, because he's only like 29, 30 years old. So definitely a bright future for him.
Would you say his in-ring ability, gimmick, and such would translate well in the United States, or is it just something that could do in Japan?
Monroe and I had talked previously about one guy from New Japan we think could come over to WWE right now and make an immediate impact, and it's Evil. Because he wouldn't need to cut a promo. He could walk in there, and just his presence alone and his ability in the ring, he'd get over.
Yep.
He's got all the mannerisms down. He's got a great all-around. I think he's one of the better all-around packages in New Japan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely something to look forward to in the future, being a big... He's like... in the ring, he's kind of like Tomohiro Ishii. And Ishii's already like 40, so I think he's kind of past that point where they can capitalize on him as a main event star. But Evil himself, I think he's younger, and they're like, we're not going to let this guy pass us by. We're gonna capitalize on it and make him a big star. So
do you think
I think he's got a real bright future.
Do you think they see, or fans kind of see the? I don't want to say. I don't mean it to be like a ripoff because I don't think it is. But in the vein of a character like The Undertaker.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it totally is. And the entrance itself was very Undertaker-esque. Everything about Evil is very Undertaker-esque.
Sure. And again, I'm not cutting it. I
get it. I'm willing to admit it. I think that if you just have to take it for what it is. I mean, you can look at Dolph Ziggler and say he was kind of like Shawn Michaels, but at the end of the day, he was still Dolph Ziggler.
There's archetypes for sure. And there's room for that. There's room for that. I mean, I love a character like The Undertaker, or what Bray Wyatt should be, or what Aleister Black could become. We don't know
exactly
that and that's what drew me to guys like Evil, or is it Bushido? Maybe that's the wrong
Bushi.
guy. Bushi.
Yeah.
The guys with the masks and
yes.
The is that the guy with the mask that looks like a luchador?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both LIJ guys too.
Yeah, that guy I like a lot. I liked. I think I saw his match on that card where he had like a tongue hanging out of his mask.
Yeah.
That was a pretty dope
That's
mask.
his best mask for sure.
Yeah.
It's got a Terminator eye too when he first comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. But yeah, I was just saying, like, I'm not cutting on him or ripping on it for being a ripoff or a knockoff. There's room for that kind of character, I think, in storytelling like this. So
absolutely. And I think he does a great job of making it his own as well. So big props to him, and I think he's got a bright future. And then, of course, the other big main event of the show was to determine who would face Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 12. It was Tetsuya Naito defending the G1 Climax briefcase against Tomohiro Ishii in a match that was probably better than the main event itself, wrestling-wise. Monroe, I know you're a big fan of both of those guys, too. Were you happy with the result? Are you looking forward to the main events at Wrestle Kingdom?
Absolutely. Yeah, those two guys, those are my guys, and I was looking forward to that match for sure, and it delivered. It was great. I love Ishii. I love Naito. They showed up, and it was awesome.
Hard hitting match, like that was brutal. But that's what you get with Ishii. So
every single time, no matter who it is, Ishii is gonna be Ishii, no matter what. I love that guy.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited about Naito and against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. I think it'll be awesome, and I really hope Naito gets the title. Really,
yeah,
really
I wrote an article for Atomic Geekdom, and I predicted that Naito would win the G1, and I said I think that Okada Naito is the match that for Japanese audiences is the biggest deal right now. And so from what I've heard, New Japan's doing fantastic numbers as far as ticket sales are concerned early, and the prices are up. So that's a good sign. There's going to be a lot of butts in seats, and I think that this main event, Naito Okada, has a lot to do with it. So Wrestle Kingdom 12 main event is looking spectacular. It's going to be an awesome spectacle. I can't wait to see it. Some other highlights from the card include the Roppongi 3K debut, which was Sho and Yo, the Tempura Boys, and they actually defeated Funky Future, Ricochet, and Taguchi to capture the junior tag titles in what was a pretty decent match. Those guys are going to be fun to watch going forward, couple of high flyers. And then the IWGP Junior title was on the line between Kushida and Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay captured the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Monroe, I don't know if you cared for that too much. I know you're a big Kushida fan, but what do you see going forward? We got those Switchblade promos or vignettes airing.
I got some news on that actually.
Yeah. Oh, do you in the news section?
Yeah.
Okay,
well, more of some theorizing,
some speculation.
Yeah.
So, Monroe, what's the future of the division look like for you? What would you like to see?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a huge Kushida fan. I'm just not a huge Ospreay fan at all.
I apologize. Sorry.
I'm sorry. What?
Kushida, is that the Back to the Future dude?
Yes.
Sir.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind Ospreay winning the title. I didn't mind the match. It was good. Not taking anything from it. And I'm fine with everything that happened. I'm just not that big on Ospreay, so it is what it is. Yeah, and then one of your favorites actually came out. I don't know what's going to come of that. Is he challenging him for the title?
Yeah, that was set actually at Power Struggle. So right now, Power Struggle is Tanahashi versus Ibushi for the IC belt, and then Suzuki versus Yano for the Never title, and the junior title is going to be Skrull versus Ospreay.
Yeah, I don't care much for that. I don't like either guy, so
I'm going to jump in here again and interrupt.
Yeah, go for it.
Is there a Marty Skrull match you could point people to that maybe are Bullet Club fans but not really familiar with him?
Yes. Actually, his match with Will Ospreay from the Best of the Super Juniors this year was probably my favorite Marty Skrull match and my favorite Will Ospreay match to date.
Because I'll be straight up and honest, and I think I've heard Monroe say this before, so I think we agree. I'm not a fan of him in ring.
He has not, honestly, I have not seen a lot of blowaway performances from Marty Skrull yet. So I'm on the same boat with you guys there. I'm more a fan of his for his character. I think there's a lot of potential in Marty Skrull. I think that he's a newer wrestler, actually, and so is Will Ospreay. So I think these guys have a lot of room to grow.
Well, Ospreay's like 22, 23, something like that.
Yeah, exactly, which is why I think
really?
that in the future. Yeah, which is why in the future I think we could be looking at these guys as major stars. This is just them getting their initial opportunities.
Yeah, don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm a big. From what I've seen, I kind of agree with you. Not so great in the ring as Marty Scurll. He's watchable. I won't say he's terrible, but to me, I love his character.
He's got great charisma.
The charisma, the gimmick. He is the villain, and you believe it. So
Right.
I really do like him for that. The ring can catch up. He can get on board with that more and more as he goes along.
I'll admit,
But
he's
as
still
far
got a
as
lot
being
to
able
learn in the ring. He's still got a lot to learn.
But being able to have the ability to own your character, that's a big plus because the rest can catch up with that.
Well, Skrull's 29 and Osprey's 24. But yeah, Skrull, like, it seems to me, and again, I'm an outsider looking in, Skrull kind of blew up. But I haven't been impressed with wrestling, but his character obviously is flashy. It's very not flamboyant, but
trendy.
Yeah, exactly. It's something you can talk about, and he's got a good look, and I get it. He's very much like the Penguin, and he's cashing in smartly, wisely on the whole comic book blow up, that kind of thing. Being a real character, using the villain.
And he got in on the Bullet Club too, which never hurts.
And then jumping in on Bullet Club, will definitely. Rocket strap you to the moon at this point. But I was hoping once that happened, once he made his debut and he kicked Adam Cole out and all that I'd get to see some what makes him a good fit for the Bullet Club, I should say. Like why they would want him other than the character, and so far that's why I asked. I have not seen that match yet.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't think he's really had any feature singles matches either. That's the only one I can point to is the one with Osprey from the Best of the Super Juniors.
Sure.
I really enjoyed that match because Skrull won it with a great reversal. That's all I'm going to tell you. I don't want to ruin the finish, so go back and check that one out. It was one of my favorite matches from the tournament this year. So I would say of Skrull's in-ring performances, while it still wasn't the greatest match ever, it was great. It was great for him. He stood out.
Yeah. I mean, I know it was done because he was leaving, but an Adam Cole Skrull program might have helped.
Oh, absolutely.
But,
absolutely.
Obviously,
and I think he's going to be getting some more singles opportunities going forward because, and this is a great segue, WCPW had refused to lose. I don't know if this was this past weekend or the weekend before, but we never really covered it. And Monroe, I know you and I watched it together. And I just want to cover the fact that Skrull won the WCPW Heavyweight Championship. He won the, I forget what it's called, but he won the briefcase where you can cash in at any time. It's kind of like the Money in the Bank briefcase. Mm-hmm. And he cashed in during the Will Ospreay and who was the other guy? Who was the champion?
Hendry.
Yeah, Joe Hendry. He cashed in during the main event and was able to pin Hendry, and he is now the WCPW Heavyweight Champion. And this is big because WCPW is rebranding as Defiant Wrestling, and Wade Barrett's there now as Stu, under his real name, Stu Bennett, So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where they go from here on out. But if you want to see more Marty Scurll matches and maybe even see him improve, I would watch Defiant because he's the world champion there now, and you should be seeing a heavy dose of Marty Scurll.
And he's working a lot in Ring of Honor too. So
yeah, we're going to get to see him this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I took
another good transition. If you want to discuss a little Ring of Honor, Dave and I are going to be heading to the Global Wars Chicago show this Sunday evening, which we are both very excited about. We get to see an IWGP United States Championship defense. Omega versus Yoshihashi should be a good one. What are you looking forward to most, Dave?
I don't even know. I just want to see. I want to see the environment. I think. The just being in that place for a Ring of Honor event. You see it on TV. You see highlights and stuff on the internet from a Ring of Honor event, and it very much feels like a modern ECW, but less hardcore, obviously.
Right.
And I've been to an ECW pay-per-view, so I know that atmosphere. I've been to an NXT pay-per-view, so I know that atmosphere. I wanted to compare what this is like. So I'm just mostly just wanting to soak it in. There's no marquee match because I want to see a lot of these guys. So nothing jumps off the. We'll talk about the card a little later. As far as a must-see match, but I'm excited to see all of these guys wrestle. So,
sure, yeah, it's gonna be my first Ring of Honor show, so I'm very excited to check that one off the list. And then last but not least, Evolve 94 and 95 coming up this Saturday and Sunday. They've been shooting out some weird email blast with some coded language and some weird videos. Monroe, I sent you that one earlier today, and you even were like taken aback. It was kind of creepy.
Yeah, it was.
Stuff. I sent it to you too, didn't I, Dave? I sent you the.
Is that what the text was you sent me today?
Yeah, the little Evolve video.
Damn it, I didn't watch it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it was weird, man. So I'm guessing somebody's going to debut, and all I could gather as far as I'm sorry, what?
This is the time for me to tell you I've signed my Evolve contract, and those are my vignettes.
I knew it.
Awesome.
Oh.
Peace
That's
out.
where you
I'm
get
out.
all this money, all this money for these trips and stuff.
Yeah,
All
right.
this money.
All
So
this money.
much money.
Yeah, all of this money.
And so the pizza delivery thing's a front. I knew it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, as far as these vignettes are concerned, if I had to take a guess as to who it is, I looked up some stuff. I think it actually might be Magnus. But we'll see. I don't know. Tom, you know Magnus, right? You watched. Yeah. Is he any good, or what do you think of Magnus?
I've always been a fan of his work. He has a good look, and
because he's gone from GFW now, right?
Yes, he did leave GFW.
Okay, I was just curious about that.
I was wondering. I thought there could have been a possibility of him coming over WWE way because Mickey's still there. But Evolve has kind of been the feeder program for NXT. So if he does go there, I mean, maybe he could build his character up and find his way to NXT someday soon.
Yeah, still waiting
Could
for
definitely
that
happen.
Donovan
That's what Drew
Dijak
McIntyre
match.
did.
yeah,
So.
and we'll talk about rumors later.
Well, and
Right
Drew
on, right
McIntyre,
on.
Donovan Dijak.
Yeah, Donovan Dijak. I mean, I'm assuming Keith Lee's going to end up there soon. So lots of guys. Maybe even Austin Theory one of these days, huh?
Oh, my boy.
Yeah. But the main event of Evolve 94 is last man standing match between Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to be watching it live with Monroe, so we'll be back to cover it next week.
See, I got to say where Monroe is not big on Will Ospreay, I think I kind of fall into that pocket with Matt Riddle.
Okay.
I've seen some of his stuff through YouTube and various stuff. I'm not overly impressed with him. I know he's very green, he's very new,
Yes, he
and
is.
very young. So it just there's something that doesn't pop off the screen to me. I really do like Ospreay. So I just don't. There's something that doesn't hit me with Riddle. Maybe I'm just missing it, but it's not there for me.
I'm just sitting back right now admiring how nerdy we're getting right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, we are Ringside Geeks, right?
Right.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
we do.
right?
How deep we're getting into
I
this.
feel the same way about Riddle as you, Tom.
Yeah.
But I think what helped me, and don't get me wrong, I'm still not a huge fan, but I kind of like the guy. And I think what helped me is actually meeting him, talking to him, and seeing him in person.
Oh, that would always do it.
Seeing him wrestle, like that's what.
Seeing him wrestle,
having him call you a bro.
Dave and I watched him fight Kyle O'Reilly, and then Monroe and I watched him fight. Who was it? Tracy Williams, and both
Tracy
matches for
Williams.
me were outstanding.
Yeah.
So.
He's got a
Maybe-
weird look, so it's
Maybe if you put some boots and knee pads on, I'll be better. But
right?
He doesn't look like he's getting ready to go
Kind of
surfing.
weirds me out too. It's like, oh,
Yeah, he
he's
looks
not done getting dressed. He's not ready.
he looks less like he's ready for a wrestling match and more for the beach.
well, I see him with no shoes and no boots on, or boots and no knee pads, and I'm like, bro, you're not Samoan.
Yeah, but when you talk to him, you can understand why he would forget to put something like that on. Cause
Yeah, for real.
Eyes, I don't know.
High as hell. Oh man.
Eyes
Yeah.
closed.
He doesn't hide it either.
No, he does not. And I hear he's going to be going to New Japan soon. So, Matt Riddle, if you're listening to Ringside Geeks, please let us interview you, number one. And two, please don't smoke weed while you're in Japan because you will not be there for long.
Bro.
All
right. Real quick, run down that Ring of Honor card that's coming up on Sunday.
Boy, I wish I knew a lot about it. I think the main event, what is it? There's a faction taking on Bullet Club.
Oh, you don't honestly have it? I'll pull it up.
Yeah, it's the Motor City
it.
Machine Guns and Jay White and someone else who I'm not familiar with
What? This
taking
isn't
on the
website.
Bullet Club.
This is not the website I wanted.
His name is like Beef something.
Bullet Club
Cheeseburger.
meaning the Bucks, Kenny and Paige.
No, there's
or Skrull.
we got Silas Young
Where's
and
the
Beer City
barber?
Bruiser versus the Best Friends, Chucky T and Beretta.
Okay. Can't wait to see Chuck Taylor. That's my boy.
Toru Yano versus Colt Cabana. I said Cabana.
That's just going to be a comedy match. That'll be funny.
Yeah. Kushida versus and Cheeseburger versus The Addiction, which I'm excited to see The Addiction.
Hell yeah, dude.
Daniels and Kazarian. Jay Lethal, Mark Briscoe, and Kenny King versus Suzuki Gun, Suzuki, and Killer Elite Squad.
Hell yeah. My boy Minoru.
The foil to everything on being the Elite, Flip Gordon versus Will Ospreay.
That'll be a crazy match.
Yeah.
It's not going to be very technical, like I told
No,
you, dude, but they're going to pull some shit out it's going to be nuts.
Not a lot of selling in that one. Marty Scurll versus Takahashi.
That could steal the show, in my opinion. And so
Really?
I'm hoping that Skrull has a good performance, dude, because I want you to like be impressed with him live. I think that'd be
Well, there'll be the
restore your faith in him a little bit.
There'll be the pageantry of his entrance and all that. I'm excited for that, and plus I like Takahashi, so
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say hello. It's Takahashi.
right. And I'm buying.
That's why I'm saying he's going to have a great match with him.
I'm
Because
getting
Takahashi
a Daryl.
will get one out of him.
If there's a Daryl on sale, I'm getting one.
I hope there is too.
Oh man.
And then the main event, they're not listening to this main event, but Kenny versus Yoshihashi for the U.S. Championship, and then Bullet Club, which is Cody, Adam Page, and the Young Bucks versus Search and Destroy, which is Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and then Jonathan Gresham and Jay White.
That's it.
So it's a 6-man.
My boy Jay White.
Or no, 8-man.
8-man, yeah.
8-man tag. So that should be fun. Should be a great show.
I've been watching the Being the Elite stuff to catch up on it, to get current. I got to tell you, and I haven't watched them wrestle, but guys like Hangman Page, I don't really get it. Like, they're just there. It seems like.
Yeah, they're kind of feeding off of the Bullet Club thing. Adam Page is I've never really been impressed with him.
See, he's one of the ones that I'm really starting to like. The more I'm watching him, the more he's doing. I can see a future with this guy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's why he's there.
I don't know about Hangman Page, but don't say anything bad about Chase Owens, because man, he will seek you out and respond to you.
Oh, is there a
He really
story?
did,
Is there
though.
a story
like,
behind
he came
this?
out on Twitter and like blasted Monroe one night.
Really?
After what was
For
it?
real?
After Dominion, he like came at you.
Shut up!
Really?
No, he did.
I need to find this because it was an exchange.
funny.
Was there an
She
exchange?
was like, why is Chase Owens even there? And he went at her twice. He sent her 2 different tweets.
Yeah. Oh, 2 or 3. Yeah,
Two or
he was
three, yeah.
like, I'm gonna be here. I'm the whole tour. Blah, 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 ha 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 ha, laughing.
So
and shit. Like,
what that
really,
means
Chase?
is you weren't the first person to come at him that night. You might have
No,
just
he
been
was a little frustrated, I think.
yeah. You might have just been the most recent.
Well, tell him he's more than welcome to come on here and plead his case. How about that?
Oh,
Sure.
boy.
Yeah, do it.
We'll give you some airtime.
I need to
Chase.
seek this thing out. I gotta find this exchange here. This is funny.
It was pretty funny. I mean,
It was gold, dude. We
I
were laughing.
seriously
hilarious,
forget
though.
that this guy, exists as a wrestler sometimes. So he pops up. I'm like, that's not Hangman. Who is that? Oh, that's Chase.
Hangman,
I
yeah.
forget.
Why can't I find
know?
you on our Twitter here? What's going on?
I don't know.
Did you delete your Twitter?
No. Yeah, I'm so upset that Chase Owens came at me that I had to
You
delete
deleted
my
it.
Twitter. It's
You
not
went
worth it anymore.
You went into hiding.
Delete.
Public embarrassment.
Monroe has gone off the map.
All right, let's go to tweets and replies on Monroe's account here and get away from this.
Okay, Dave.
No, he
I
was
gotta
leaking it
I gotta
out.
find this out.
I would just, dude, I've only had one guy ever even like a tweet I had, and that was Joey Ryan liked one of the ones I put out.
How
I
long?
don't know how they
I
see
know
my
War
tweets,
Machine.
though.
War Machine likes a lot
Twice,
of our tweets
yeah.
on the Ringside
Yeah.
Geek stuff when we tweet about them, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they like all mine too. Probably because they say positive things.
Yeah, you don't just attack them out of nowhere.
Even Will Ospreay sent me a gift.
Yeah. Oh, Will Ospreay came at you too. You get under these guys' skin.
I don't know what's wrong with them. I'm just being honest. Shit.
Hey, do you,
how
man?
come nobody from La La Land has come at you yet?
Oh,
Oh, that movie sucked
You
so
were
bad.
blasting it the other day.
I was so upset. Like, I was looking forward to it because it won all those awards and everybody loves it. And I'm like, what is this? This is terrible.
Oh, there's a Tony Storm picture. I'm just gonna like that while I'm here.
There was nothing about it that made me even want to watch it, Monroe. I understand the awards and stuff, but it's just not something I'd watch.
I love musicals.
Well, I do too. I mean, there's a lot that I do like.
I love musicals. I live for musicals, man. That's my thing. That was not a musical to me. The opening number was awesome. After that, it was a drama. I don't want to see a drama. Come on. Love story? Who cares about a freaking love story? Sing, that's what I want. And that's something they barely did. Then they got duckface freaking Ryan Gosling and then barely cute Emma Stone. Really?
Oh boy.
Barely cute.
Whatever. I don't like either one of those guys, but I still gave the movie a chance anyway, and it just blew.
So did you find it, Dave?
Is that Chase Owens again? Yep, here all tour.
Yeah, because it was actually David Finlay, and I was like, oh, I thought that was Chase Owens again.
It wasn't even him. Oh, God. Oh, here, how did Chase Owens end up in the Bullet Club? Man, he is as average as they come. And somebody else, you need average people to make everyone else look even better. And then he replies to you with 3 laughing emojis and says, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, he's the best, man. Chase Owens.
Go Chase Owens, yeah.
Hey, man. Yeah, pull into it. Just steer right into it. Why not?
I'm a fan. I am a
Do it,
fan
dude.
now.
Why not?
He is a real heel.
I love it. All right.
Anyways, that is it for the indie section of the show.
Hey, man,
And
that's
my
the longest.
Twitter
I got.
section,
That's
apparently.
And the Twitter review.
Yeah.
All of it.
You can follow Monroe at E of the.
It's pretty interesting, pretty eventful over there.
Yeah,
So
hand
no
that out.
one's
Get
watching.
heated from time to time.
What's that Twitter handle,
no.
Monroe?
I've been
If-
blocked
if-
a few times by fans.
If you want to follow Monroe, ask Chase Owens.
Yeah. He's pretty soon he'll have a shirt at Hot Topic saying Monroe follows me.
Oh boy.
All right.
Available now.
The WWE side of things, we had Monday Night Raw, all the good stuff that happened. You know, all the shows were brand new. It says it every week. WWE Monday Night Raw, the Shield reunion happened. It was fantastic. I actually got goosebumps. I don't know why, but it was awesome. I loved it. It felt good. I don't know why. It just felt good.
And the crowd was popping, probably.
Yeah, that helped. That helped a lot.
did.
I find myself feeding off of the crowd whenever I watch any kind of wrestling. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just natural. If the crowd's digging it, I probably digging it too.
And what's
Yep.
going to be great about it is it's going to give Miz a chance to work with some good stuff. And it's the Miz and the Bar, so it's not Miz and the Miztourage, which you wish kind of the Miztourage could get a stroke from this, but at the same time, it's cooler to see Cesaro and Sheamus because it'll be a better match.
It makes more sense too. They're more established. I mean, I agree with you. I would like to see Miztourage because Bo needed a shot. Axel's always needed a shot. But if you're going to go against the likes of the Shield, an established team like Cesaro and Sheamus makes more sense.
Yeah. And then they announced the TLC match for that will be the Shield versus Miz, the Bar, and now Braun Strowman because they would come out to save Matt Hardy by just laying waste to Braun Strowman, which is great.
Which was funny because they they already had shirts made. Mm-hmm. I laughed when they
That's the
walked
same
out
thing- that's the
with
same
the
thing with-
new Shield shirts.
Right, they did that with Y2AJ.
I'm like, oh, you guys just reunited like 20 minutes ago,
But the
and now
shirt-
I've got a shirt.
The shirt's great, though. Each fist has their logo on it. I like it.
Oh, no doubt, it's a cool shirt. But
Yeah. I already know. I have a feeling I know how she feels about it, but it's going to be Asuka versus Emma at TLC. The qualifying match was a fatal 4-way elimination, I think it was?
Five-way.
Five-way elimination, which the announcers had no idea it was an elimination. I remember somebody saying, oh, it's an elimination match. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, right. So how do you feel about that setup? I mean, we know that those two can go. They had a great match already once. But how do you feel about it?
I'm ready for it.
Are you-
I'm excited to see Asuka wrestle again, and I want people to see that Emma can actually go because a lot of people don't know that she's actually really good in the ring. So I'm excited for people to actually see these two wrestle because, believe it or not, there are still a lot of people that did not watch NXT at the time and still don't.
Yeah.
So they don't know Asuka, they don't know what she can do, and they don't know much about Emma either. So I'm excited for people to see these two women go in the ring, and I'm excited to see the match myself. I really loved their TakeOver London match.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was a really good match. Now my question is, do you think they'll get the time, or will it be a bury?
Ooh. I don't know.
Or a squash, I should say, not a bury.
Yeah, squash. It may be a squash, but I could see Emma getting a lot of offense in this match for some reason because they like to do that.
Yeah.
It was similar to what Shinsuke and what Dolph, I think. Dolph had a lot of offense in the match when it should have been a squash for Shinsuke.
Rude and somebody else, too. When Rude came up, he had a long match with Aiden English.
Yeah. So I feel like it's going to be that way. But Asuka's going to prevail in the end, obviously. Yeah.
Wasn't this Asuka's first opponent in NXT? Wasn't it Emma?
No, it was Dana Brooke.
That was her first takeover match.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
first takeover, yeah. Yep.
All right. Anything to add from that, John?
Yeah, personally, I was kind of hoping it was Sasha.
Sure.
And not because I'm, I want to see what Emma can do, but I think the dynamic of having Sasha in there would have had fans thinking, oh, is she really going to win this? Whereas with Emma, you're like, dude, come on, Emma's not going to win this match.
Right.
Whereas Sasha's a big enough star, it would have, like, at least in my mind, I would like to believe that there's some kind of chance that Asuka could lose the match, even though I know really there's like a very small chance.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
That's all. I think it's going to be a great match. I can't wait to see what she does, though.
Right,
you know?
right. I think you realize this, but you just want better booking. But they probably want to save that matchup, you know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right now, I don't think there's anybody you can put in that ring and not think Asuka's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really.
Much,
Yeah.
except the Raw Women's Champion, you know.
Hey,
She is female Cena. But I will say,
what?
Asuka and Sasha is definitely a dream match for me. So when that happens, I am all about it.
I would rather some build up to that. I wouldn't want to see
absolutely.
that in their first match, because then Asuka goes over, and then what? I would like to see some build up to it.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. That's a Mania SummerSlam type match.
Exactly.
I will say I did. I don't quite get the calling her old thing, the Mickie James. I do, but she's not old, so it's weird. But I did like the little video package they did with the old school style thing that they put together for that promo. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was funny, and Mickey's doing some good work right now. So
yeah, it's kind of funny they made a video and highlighted her career, all her wins and title runs and all that as an insult.
Right,
Okay.
They had to kind of frame it for people who don't know who she is. Is what I took from it, you know.
That was weird.
Yeah,
I thought.
I just liked the way it was put together. I thought it was funny. What was? Oh, yes, Sister Abigail. How are we feeling? How are we feeling after all of that?
I don't understand the build up. The Sister Abigail thing we've been talking about for a long time, but if it's Bray Wyatt in a dress, that is the biggest letdown that I've ever heard in my life, as far as gimmicks go.
I'm sorry, but I can't believe Bray Wyatt agreed to do that on TV. That was bad. Sorry. That's all I can say.
Right. If that's the lead-in to a real character, I'm okay with it. Like, that's the spirit coming forth, and then eventually we're going to have a character. Whatever, you know. I'm okay with it. But if this is all it's going to be, where he's being possessed by her and he wrestled like demon, like Finn wrestles as the demon, he's going to wrestle as Sister Abigail, I'm done with Bray Wyatt. And that's not his fault.
Well, I'm wondering, we'll talk about the rumors swirling. I wonder if maybe that's part of what the rumor was about. Maybe there is some issues with him as far as this gimmick goes.
There could be, yeah. I do have something later on that we're going to talk about.
I would hope, you know what? And if it was that, I will commend him. I will say thank you. Just don't get caught up doing something like that.
Yeah,
because they've already taken the Bray Wyatt character, who is supposed to be eater of worlds. You're supposed to be the top heel. You're supposed to be this monster, and you have just, well, I don't even know who he is anymore.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else before we move on? All right. Okay. They announced for Raw next week. For Raw next week, we're gonna get Roman Reigns versus Braun in a cage, which means we'll have more Shield shenanigans. But that should be fun. Cage match on Raw.
Who's in the match?
Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman.
Okay.
And that's going to be leading towards, that's the go home show too.
It's a go home, yeah.
Interesting.
Think we'll see Asuka on that show?
Oh, yeah.
Or are they just going to save her all together for TLC?
I'm gonna say save her altogether.
Yeah, they need to save her altogether.
Another package or something, but yeah, probably not her. Because they're probably going to keep her out of action until then because of the injury too. Let her be a full 100% or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get to the main event. And we'll discuss this later in the news too. It was announced early that there would be a Cruiserweight Championship Lumberjack match. Kalisto would get his shot against Enzo, not waiting until TLC, getting it now because Enzo ran his mouth off about Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle wasn't having it. So it was a Lumberjack match with all the Cruiserweights outside, well, all but one, outside the ring. And long story short, Kalisto is your new Cruiserweight champion.
I like how you said that.
And
Right.
congratulations to him. And it was a good moment. Being Eddie Guerrero's was it birthday?
Birthday, yes.
Yeah. So that was a nice touch, dedicating it to Guerrero. And
I know Ray reached out to him on I believe it was Twitter, congratulating him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a new Cruiserweight champion already. That wasn't what was supposed to happen, and we'll talk about it later. But there it is. Enzo is no longer your Cruiserweight champion, and yeah, and it was a main event again on Raw. Well, I'll say there was a good spot. I like the superplex onto the entire roster outside. I thought that was a great spot.
Great spot.
I heard it got a pop. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked
And the Del Sol to finish it from the turnbuckle was really cool.
Yeah, it was good. Of course, we all know Kalisto can work. There's no doubt about it. And the guys on the outside made it a more entertaining match than it should have been. So, yeah. I don't know. From where I stand, I'm still in, and I understand what we're going to talk about later, but this booking and my decision, in my opinion, I should say, it worked. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested the whole match to the point where I didn't even realize Neville wasn't out there. Because I was just more interested in what was going to happen. Now, granted, I read about it, or no, I had it spoiled it on Twitter that it happened, but so I knew it was going to happen. But at the same time, I was just more into what's this match going to be about? What's happening on the outside? Is there anything cool going to happen? Are we going to break into any other fights and stuff like that? But I don't know. We've kind of already had the Enzo debate, so we'll save it for when we talk about the news because we'll get into it again for sure. We talk about why it happened. So yeah, SmackDown. Gable and Benjamin are your number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Titles.
Yay!
I don't have a problem with that.
I did like the promo beforehand, especially when they all agreed that Breezango was cool.
Yeah.
that was pretty funny. All the tag teams got a moment to kind of shine, and nobody was really taken as a joke in this match, which I liked. Even the Ascension, when they could have just been written off as a joke.
Yeah, they looked strong to begin with in the match.
Even when they came out. So I don't know. I would have preferred somebody else, but I get it. They got to keep Gable relevant, and then Shelton Benjamin's back for a reason, so you got to do something with them. And it's the Usos, and so those four guys together, I think, will be a good match anyway. So now you give the New Day a chance to either heel or put them with I don't know, like the Ascension or somebody. Work the undercard.
Or, wait for a certain team to come up.
Or that. There was a vignette shown of a certain team coming back of Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, a.k.a. the Bludgeon Brothers.
The Butcher.
I laughed because that was my reaction when I saw it.
The Butchers?
I was like, what have you done?
Well, they're going for that old school style tag team for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll see. We'll just see. I don't know.
I saw a picture and I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. but they both get Thor's hammer, and
yeah, that's what I meant. Like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Eesh.
I don't care for it. War Machine.
Yeah, right. The Bobby
It was
Roode.
like somebody designed
War Machine. Yeah, exactly.
Somebody designed 2 D&D characters and said, "All right, here you go."
Yeah. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler are going to continue their feud. I don't know what happened during that promo, but they both kind of broke down.
It was
I
weird.
heard Bobby Roode like lost his lines or something.
Yeah. They both kind of deflated at one point and said the same thing over and over.
Like,
they kinda
yeah, right. Wasn't that what
Yeah.
that or something?
Yeah. It was like watching kids on the playground argue.
Boy,
Really?
from two
I
guys
didn't
who are
see
supposed to be charisma magnets, right? Then
Yeah.
here they are forgetting their lines. That's something.
I don't quite understand what happened there. And then the main event was AJ versus Baron, and it was shocked me at how good it was. It was a decent match, but Baron actually won clean, which was interesting.
Makes sense. AJ's moving on.
Yeah,
Definitely
right.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Definitely.
keep him a strong champion. But it was a decent match. I kind of read through 205 Live. I didn't really watch it. I didn't really see anything. There was a 2 out of 3 falls match between TJ Perkins TJ P and Rich Swann, which I think was the main event. I don't know. It happened. Anyway, NXT was better. You
Surprise.
had right another qualifying match for the women's championship match for Takeover. Peyton Royce joins Kairi Sane as one of the entrants. Decent match too. It was Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and what was the other girl?
Liv.
Oh yeah, and Peyton Royce did that submission move over the ropes. Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, I really like it.
It was real good. Peyton Royce impresses me every time.
She's getting better and better for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And at one point, the Undisputed Era ushered out what's her name, Conti, from the Mae Young tournament to have her come out and distract Nikki Cross, and that was it. Then they just kind of left. So they're doing everything they can to ruin Sanity's lives. I like it. I thought it was pretty funny.
There was I don't know if you saw, there was an exclusive backstage segment later in that show where she did what they wanted. Now they're supposed to do something, and they basically just laughed her off and walked away.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I was going to lead in, before I saw that, I was going to lead this conversation as, are they recruiting a woman? And then I'm like, nope, they were just using her to make Sanity crazy.
Right.
Leo Rush had his debut match, and it was everything everyone would want it to be. That was a pay-per-view match for free, people.
No doubt.
Those guys have history. They've wrestled each other so many times before.
Who was it? Leo Rush and who?
Velveteen Dream.
Your favorite, the Velveteen Dream.
I love this dude.
But yeah, they've wrestled many times before, and I want to say it's MLW or something, Maryland Wrestling, something like that. But anyway, I saw the part where Leo Rush did his thing, ricochet thing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Where he had like the move after move after move. The crowd went nuts for that.
Yeah, they were.
I don't think I've seen the NXT crowd come unglued like that so quickly in a very long time.
Right. And that was
insane.
That was like the second or third match on the card too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was crazy. The way they all just popped like that. I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, what I liked about it too is because you were worried because Leo Rush got destroyed in his debut, and you're like, oh, what's going to happen here? They're not going to waste him, are they? And then he gets this moment to just really shine, and it went very well. He lost, but that's okay. He put up a great fight, kind of along the lines of like Bobby Fish did and Kyle O'Reilly did in their debut matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's one of those you have to go back to the record book to see if he lost, because the match come off so well.
Right. You're
not even going to look about a winner or a loser in that one. It was just that good.
Yeah, totally agree. And then the main event was Gargano and Almas again, but Zelina Vega made her presence known, and that stole the show. Distracting Gargano by ripping off her jacket and having on a DIY shirt underneath, getting in his head.
That would get in my head too, for other reasons.
Oh, for many reasons.
Oh boy.
But it was a good moment. I love the story there. I love they're keeping it alive without
That's me.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep.
without Ciampa even
Continuity.
being there. It's fantastic stuff. I love it. And then getting Zelina Vega involved that way, I love her. She's great, and hopefully she'll get to wrestle more. But as a valet or manager or whatever she's doing right now, she's doing a great job, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, Almost can go, and it's great he's getting this new character, but it's almost all about her, and I like that.
Is that Aries' girlfriend?
Yeah,
Zelina
Beyonce.
Vega?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
got
but I kind of equate this too to kind of when Maurice came back for the Miz. It kind of really gained him some momentum, and you put Selena with almost. It's kind of the same thing. You're getting a whole push to the character. There's like a different edge to him because of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I'm good with that. We've talked about it before. Managers and valets is a forgotten art, and this being brought back, I would love it. It's fantastic.
yeah, she's making
It's
it look
working,
she's
for
making it
sure.
look real easy too. She's a natural. So it's good. Not that she's a rookie or anything. She's been in the business for a while. So
Long time. Was in TNA for a good while.
yeah.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing. All right, that's all I got. We can move on to news if there's nothing else.
Let's roll back to SmackDown real quick. The Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn thing coming off of Hell in a Cell. Well, number one, I was disappointed when Sami comes dancing down to the ring because it was like he just was the same guy. The explanation,
I disagree.
Really?
I didn't think he was dancing at all.
He was doing his same entrance.
No, he didn't. He didn't do his.
Yeah.
Nah, he was not nearly as. He was arrogant. He wasn't as happy and joyous. He was arrogant about it.
Yeah, maybe.
There was a little bit of an attitude towards it. There wasn't happy-go-lucky Sammy like we're used to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe if I look at it that way, you're right. But the explanation I thought was pretty solid because they had led into that with the backstage segments with him and Shane. So it kind of made sense. I hope they don't go with another Jericho Owens best friends gimmick with this, but I hope it leads to something for Sammy.
No, I think they're going more the brothers. They're brothers, and brothers will fight.
Right.
So I think what this does is it leads to more betrayal and stuff down the line. That these two are gold, no matter what they do together. So I don't know. I'm gonna enjoy this ride with those two.
I want to see where it goes for Sammy.
Yeah,
because we all know Kevin's going to be in a major title picture all the time, but Sammy needs to get. I would hope this to be a wasted heel turn for nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
If this could lead to a Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens title picture thing, I would be all about it.
Yeah.
Which title?
The WWE Championship.
The one that Jinder has?
Oh, yeah.
The very same.
Isn't Kevin Owens getting a title match in India?
Is Kevin Owens going to win it in India?
He better.
No.
he better.
He will not.
Send home millions of India fans. Just
I don't even
furious.
think John Cena would win that title in India.
Oh, jeez.
They
And
would
you
want
know
him
what
to.
that
They'd probably
means.
do if he didn't win.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm sure they're bigger John Cena fans than Jinder Mahal fans over there.
Oh, not
Probably.
in India. I
I
wouldn't.
don't know.
Yeah, you never
A
know.
hometown guy.
I don't know.
You never know. All right, let's move on. Wrestling news. Austin Aries is making his first post WWE match debut at the House of Hardcore 34 and 35 in November. So A-double fans can catch him on the indie circuits. However,
I hope we see him elsewhere, too.
spotted at the Performance Center very, very recently. Former TNA Knockout Madison Rayne. Also, Serena Deeb. She was also featured on WWE's YouTube channel. So it sounds like she's part of the NXT women's roster now.
I read Serena Deeb was there doing a training session, like as a coach.
Okay, that could be too. Also seen at the PC itself, Austin Aries.
This is true.
Whether he's just
Probably
visiting.
came to
Yeah,
pick up Thea.
could be. Could be. We never know.
That's all. He just walked inside because he got tired of waiting in the car.
Right. You wait out here, baby. You wait out here.
Damn, girl, hurry up.
Yeah, right.
Woman, let's go.
This is Florida. It's humid.
Exactly.
Karen Q received a WWE tryout this week as well. There was 2 other names. I didn't get those, though. They got some tryouts. What else do I got here? Roman Reigns taking a shot at the Young Bucks.
How dare he?
Right. Nobody does that.
Nobody.
What did he say? No offense to any of these guys, but we don't need guys running around doing 2 sweets. Reigns said, we don't need guys acting like they're DX from 20 years ago. We need original characters, guys who are themselves. So that's what he said, briefly. And then
So
the Bucks,
clearly he's never watched the Bucks, because the Bucks are not. They are themselves, but with a little DX flair. I would
you.
the Bucks
But
responded.
don't convince anybody else of that. Oh God.
Right,
God
the
forbid.
Because he's wrong. That's why.
The
'Cause
Bucks.
you
They
never
are
really
a lot.
watched them.
They are
You
a lot like DX.
You've never
video.
even
A
watched their
lot.
match. You turn
How
it
you
off.
figure that? First
She
of all,
turns
back
it
away
off.
from the mic.
Listeners,
Back
she
away
doesn't
from the mic.
watch them. She
Second
turns
of
it
all,
off.
I have seen their matches. I've seen
Why?
enough. Trust me. I've seen enough. Are you?
I would
also
say
know what I'm looking at? No, you don't.
now, John, for the sake of my
Oh my God, Bullet Club fans, you guys are worse than CM Punk fans. Okay?
John, for the
Whenever
sake of
someone
my
says
liver, I
something
can't
about
watch
these
Bucks
people-
matches.
Jeez.
For the sake of your what?
For
Liver.
the sake of my liver, I can't watch Bucks matches. That's too many super kicks. I would just be killing a 12-pack right there.
You drink every super kick.
I'm not a
That's
fan.
it.
But
Young Bucks would respond by saying you expect old timers / shock jocks to bury you, but not current young top guys that you respect. Disappointing, and he said, and the young Bucks would go on to say, or at least Matt Jackson, no beef on our end.
And what did they do today?
Yeah, apparently at their Pittsburgh show for Ring of Honor, they called out, or they made some underhanded remarks, some subtle jabs that'll probably end up on being the Elite towards.
they already had some subtle jabs on being the Elite today too that they released. Kenny Omega gave a speech where he literally reiterated what Roman said, and it was pretty hilarious.
But that's
Because
okay.
he did it while he was acting drunk too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's okay.
in my opinion,
That's a
Of course,
show.
They're,
different when-
they're Bullet Club. It's okay. Yeah.
it's different when someone does it in humor and when someone really takes a shot at you and and really comes after your credibility. I don't know. Just my opinion.
Negativity is negativity. It's causing a divide. Both
I'm glad
sides
the world
are.
is black and white.
I don't know if it's a divide in this. I think it's
not.
more of a rivalry. I think it's not a divide, because I was at first, when I first saw the way they talk bad about the Revival, I was like, man, well, I don't know what they're doing here. But the more I've watched it, I think it's just a subtle, tip of the hat to them. Like, hey, this is kind of the guys we want to face sometime down the line.
Look, I think
Yeah, but
Roman
the
Reigns is
Revival
helping
didn't
them.
say anything though. Roman Reigns said something, but they do it all the time. I don't understand why one is okay and one is not. It's still negativity. Is that okay when it's one group, but not when somebody a part of the WWE?
No, you're right in what you're saying.
Don't think
You're right in what you're
don't think I'm on 100% Bullet Club guy. I mean, I'm just saying, I think this creates interest on both sides.
Well, I think Roman Reigns is helping the Bullet Club out a lot by bringing their name up, because he's got a lot more people watching him every week. And now, if he's got this huge fan base, they're going to look up who are these guys, the Bullet or the Bucks that he's talking about.
That's the
You
point.
are.
I
Either way-
guarantee you,
either
Vince
way,
came
it's
up
the
to him and
work
said,
and they're
"Just
helping
shut
each
up."
other.
I
I didn't
guarantee
hear you,
you,
Dave. What?
I guarantee you, Vince told Roman to just not even talk about him.
Yeah,
If
I
Vince
guarantee.
cares.
Again, if he doesn't like the shirt showing up at his crowds and stuff,
Right.
I mean,
If he cares.
Well,
nobody's
he's a parent.
talking about him.
Right.
It's a definite he doesn't like him showing up in the crowd. I mean, he fired Jacobs has been let go just because of this whole incident of the invasion.
No. Okay, hold
Sure
on,
that
hold
happens
on,
too, yeah.
hold on. The Jacobs thing, I get, because that's to an extent. I don't think he should have been fired, but when guys like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and AJ Styles show up in the background of a Being the Elite video, those are guys that are trying to get over, and they're on a different company's, not even company, but a different brand, whatever you want to call it, on their thing. They're getting over. Mm-hmm. When you have a writer doing it, apparently that's a no-no in the backstage for a writer to be quote unquote getting personal gain off of somebody else outside of your company. I don't know, something like that. This is the way, I kind of understand it, because again, I'm not defending
I kind of do, but I think it's very also hypocritical if you look at it that way, where it's okay for these guys to do it, but Jacobs has a history with these guys.
Well,
so
he's got a history with
I don't understand firing somebody over.
That's
something
the
like
thing
that.
I have the biggest problem with is it's like you're telling your employees they can't have friends. I mean, if you're, I understand that if you're working for one company, but it's like at the same time, you know, you're not going to allow this dude to meet with dudes and take pictures with guys who he's been friends with before in the past. I don't like it. To me, it gives me bad vibes. I don't know.
There should have been a bunch of, Japanese steakhouse gate because they all had dinner together when they were in Japan.
I really don't think he was trying to get himself over. I think that's I think that's a reach. Like, why would a writer try to get himself over? I don't know.
We're working together anyway. It doesn't matter.
WWE is planning an interbrand match for the main event of Survivor Series. Jinder Mahal will be facing Brock Lesnar in a champion versus champion non-title match. And that same report also has that what we just talked about, Kevin Owens taking on Jinder Mahal, early December events in India.
Is that confirmed?
Yes.
Because Jinder did a podcast where he said, "Oh, I would love to face Brock." So now there's already a match.
I just read it
Jinder
today,
actually
too.
announced it during a promotional tour in India.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think Jinder Mahal is winning that match.
Probably.
I can't say that because everything Brock touches is gold.
Yeah. New Japan vignettes we talked about. Switchblade. The name being bandied about as to the identity of Switchblade is. Well, John, do you have a guess?
I know who you. I mean,
Okay.
Do you want my guess who I think it is, or do you want my guess who I like? The speculation is.
Well, I don't know what the difference would be at this point. One might influence the other.
Yeah, I hope it's Jay White, but I'm hearing it's going to be Sami Callihan.
Callahan's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that Monroe, didn't you say he wrote a book or something where he was Switchblade?
Back in 2011, he had a DVD called the Confessions of a Switchblade, the Sami Callihan story.
And he was a part of a faction called the Switchblade Conspiracy, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
it sounds like Sami Callihan. I don't know.
But now I've also, breaking news, dun 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 dun. I have read that he is booked for what's the company here in Chicago? AAW, that's real popular. The indie promotion that he usually works for. He's booked there the night before the Power Struggle event, which is where the debut is supposed to be taking place. And unless he's got a private jet, he's not going to be able to make it to Japan in that amount of time. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Could just be a red herring.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas were not at Raw. Shockingly, that Sister Abigail thing was pre-recorded, leaving many to wonder what their status within WWE is. They could both be wanting out.
When I first read it, I was wondering if there was something health issues with one of the family members because they both didn't appear once before.
Right.
When I believe it was Wyndham's father or one of the family members was very ill and they both didn't appear. But then I haven't read anything about that. I haven't seen a thing about a family member. It's just they both weren't there. I mean, were they both scheduled off? We don't know.
Mm-hmm. But
there's so much talent that's left off TV every week. I think it's wrong to speculate after 1 week. What's the deal?
Yeah. But it was more than that. It was the live events too. They were talking about
the whole week is what I read.
Right. Neither guy was with was with the tour for the week, I guess. But again, it's all speculation until you hear something real, which leads us into our headlining story, which changed quite a bit over 3 days. It went from Neville walking out on Raw to Neville not even being at Raw. It's changed quite a bit, but the report is Neville allegedly as asked for his release from WWE. He was supposed to lose to Enzo in that main event on Raw. I don't know if it was supposed to be still a lumberjack match or not, but the writers obviously backed themselves into a corner because he couldn't get a title match because he struck Enzo the week before or whatever, that stipulation thing.
Right.
they kind of wrote themselves in a corner. The claims of him walking out of Raw are false because he was never even on the road. He wasn't even at the live events for the weekend. So he wasn't backstage. But lots of things could be leading to this. The fact that he was left off, his match was left off the WrestleMania 33 DVD and Blu-ray would probably upset him because that restricts him from getting royalties off of that.
Right.
And even though Blu-ray sales are not good, but
Playing with my money's like playing with my emotions, Smokey.
But that's their biggest selling Blu-ray or DVD.
right,
So
Mania,
I mean,
yeah. Also, Enzo getting the spotlight that he had probably earned at this point, with Enzo getting 2 Raw main event matches on, and Neville working pre-show matches as the champion, leads to a lot of frustration. So, has he walked away? We don't know. The WWE is, of course, not confirming any of that. No one's heard. Neville's not made any statements that we know of. So it's a wait and see type of thing. Do we have another CM Punk moment on our hands here?
Or Austin Aries.
Or, well, at least we knew Austin Aries talked. The CM Punk, it was a lot of waiting.
I wasn't concerned when Neville wasn't down there with the Lumberjacks on the main event, because he is the quote king of the cruiserweights. Why would he be bothered to be down there?
It's usually one of those things where he's too big for the moment. Yeah.
It didn't really stun me that he wasn't down there. But then hearing the walkout rumors and then reading the he wasn't even there rumors.
It's kind of spiraled.
I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, it's kind of spiraled and taken on a life of its own. But
But of course, the comedy of it is the Young Bucks tweeting out a picture of a Bullet Club shirt and saying, "Here you go."
they are the worst.
Yeah.
Well, it also could be a work.
Oh yeah,
It could be part of a storyline. I mean,
what would you think? What would you think?
His main thing anyway was about how people overlooked him and this and that, and they showed his shirt or debuted a shirt for him, and he said how much he hated it on Twitter and things like that. So I mean,
unfitting of a king or something like that.
Yeah, who knows?
What would you think? We'll go around the horn here. What would you think if it was a work?
Well, that would be interesting, I guess, if it was a work. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be too sad to see Neville go, because I have been a Pac fan for years.
I'll never understand that name ever.
Whatever,
X-Pac,
but that
I get it.
X.
Right? No, I get it. I didn't understand it when he did it from Tupac.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, and this guy to me is the best high flyer in the world. So if he has to go somewhere else where his talents are appreciated, then go. I'm all for that.
But if it's a work,
but if it's a work, then fine. I just hope they make something out of it. I would like to see him with the title. That's not a cruiserweight championship or whatever. So
I feel like if it is a work, it's an awesome way to get him out of the cruiserweights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hope for that sake it is a work. I don't think it is. But what about the rest of you guys?
I'm with you. If it is a work, I hope it's a work to move him up, to get him out of the cruiserweight division, because he's too good. Him and Aries, I both thought were too good for this division. Let this division be what it used to be back in WCW, to showcase the guys that this is what they do. And there's plenty of talent. They don't need these guys. They can showcase another guy to do it. But if it's not a work, I can totally understand. I mean, you're taking money out of his pocket with the Blu-ray DVD thing. He could be very upset about the Enzo push, which I don't have a problem with it now.
Well, the entire roster tweeted about it. They were all upset. So I mean,
yeah. But if it's not a work, I think it's kind of sour grapes, maybe a little bit. But I understand. At least people are starting to take a stand against this booking, and if you don't like it, there are other places to work.
Yeah, I mean, there's the whole taking my ball and going home thing, but this is their lives. They're trying to put food on the table type of thing. This is their careers. That's important to remember when you think about all these guys are just whining and complaining, and there's an aspect to that, but at the same time, you can only be a company guy for so long.
Right.
That's right. And these guys are human beings at the end of the day. It's not like, anybody can quit their job when they want to.
Right,
it's just
right.
if you're not feeling it anymore, you can go work for somebody else. That's the nature of the beast.
Right.
You got to remember the ones that are the huge company guys are getting huge contracts. They're getting paid a lot of money to be there.
Right. And there's ways to handle things and there's ways not to handle things. I've never agreed with the way Punk handled his exit. Mm-hmm. I understand his frustrations. I get it, and especially getting sent your termination papers on your wedding day, all of that. Whatever it is, whether that's true or not. I did not like the. I get both sides of it, but it's hard to really say that I was okay with the way he left the business, and the same thing would be for Neville. I'd want them to be happy. I want them to be successful, but. I don't know. It's a tough line because you're a fan of these guys and you feel very invested in what they've given to you. And you do feel a little betrayed if they just got up and walked away. And in our case, for Punk fans, he walked away from the business entirely. Whereas Neville probably wouldn't just walk away. He'd go to New Japan or Ring of Honor or whatever. But, I hope it's a work because I love Neville on WWE. I didn't like him in NXT. I liked the high flying stuff. I didn't like him. Something about him being a face never really felt right to me. But I was always intrigued by Neville. I never thought he was a great champion as an NXT champion, but that's just me. I thought he was kind of boring again as a face. But when he became a heel, as usually happens, I was all in, and
it worked.
He was great, and he bought in, and he loved it, and you knew he was doing good work, and you felt like they felt the same way until it was pay-per-view time, at least. But yeah, his tweet, "This atrocity is not on the Neville level. The King deserves better." The tweet seems in character, less as more of a work than a shoot. But yeah, we'll wait and see. But perhaps by Monday we'll know that it's a work. And this entire conversation.
I'm actually kind of hoping he shows up on Tuesday night and teams up with Sammy and Kevin, two guys who feel like they're against the machine right now. I feel like that trio would be amazing. I'd be all about it.
That
would be kind of cool.
Same agenda, maybe like an anti-authority, anti-machine type of thing going on.
I did tweet out when I watched Raw, on Monday night. I just felt like with the goosebumps of the Shield reuniting and taking on this, I feel like just them reuniting for The Miz and The Bar isn't enough. And I just feel like they're going to be forming this other kind of club.
Oh, boy.
I'm just putting it out there.
I you know what? At this point, I don't want it to happen because the way they've made Anderson and Gallows to be such a joke. I don't want it to happen anymore.
But this is how you fix that. This is how you can fix that.
You have to build it before you fix it. You have to repair what you've done to these guys.
And this is how you repair it. With the program,
putting them together. Just putting them together doesn't repair it.
Oh, come on! Putting them with Finn and then a program with the Shield. That's entertainment.
They've got to destroy some people before you put them back together.
And that's what would happen.
They've got to destroy the Shield is what they got to do.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, long term. But you can't do it tomorrow. You know what I mean?
No,
you have to reestablish Anderson and Gallows as when they walked in the door. When they walked in the door, they were badasses.
You're
too
bitter.
Kicked the hell out of people.
You're way too bitter. And I agree. I'm upset with the way they've been booked for sure. But, dude, the way things happen in this business, overnight you could change that character around, especially a tag team.
I would need to see it.
All right.
Just putting them together, putting them with Finn would not fix things for me. You have to do more.
And
I would just want something long term out of it personally. I feel like everything in WWE these days, aside from like Roman Reigns and maybe Jinder Mahal, feels very short term. And I would love to see maybe some like factions or something that's just maybe, same time next year we're still gonna be talking about it. So maybe the Bullet Club is running wild or something. Just give me something to hold on to, like grasp onto it. And that's the reason I'll keep coming back every week.
Well, I'm curious to see how long this Shield is going to last.
Yeah.
Is it going to last after the next pay-per-view? I highly doubt it.
And that's what I'm saying.
I doubt it sees 2018 for sure.
That's what I'm saying. If that's what they're doing, if they want, it's an easy way to keep those guys busy in a full roster.
Very true. Yeah.
So you give these guys something to do. Obviously, they're probably going to break Roman off for WrestleMania, sadly. But you never know. Who knows what we could get? You know, maybe you get the Club versus Seth and Dean, and then you get Roman versus Finn. Who knows?
That's right.
You know, hey, we just, you know, that's my fantasy booking. And we've already gone too long. That's all I got for news. We are definitely, I really wanted to talk NXT tonight. It's already over an hour, so we're going to save it, for a second time and hit it next week, for sure. We're going to talk, and this will give you guys a chance to chime in about it too, because we're going to talk about our favorite moments from NXT, and we'll retweet that out again. I tweeted it out earlier today and put it on Facebook. We want to know your favorite moments from NXT, your favorite matches, your favorite takeover, your favorite superstar out of NXT, that kind of stuff. And we'll dig heavy into that, you know, male, female, whatever you want, tag team. We'll get into all of that next week. I have a feeling it'll be a little less heavy as far as reviews go. Mm-hmm. And then we'll preview TLC. So that'll be our two halves of the show.
Cool.
Sounds great.
Also,
I like it.
To get it out there, stay tuned and subscribe and like our subscribe. Like our YouTube channel. As of, I'm going to say Thursday of next week, there'll be the first episode of My Career Mode for WWE 2K18, in which I introduce the world to Ian Richter.
Oh, boy.
And that'll be entertainment. I promise you, it will not be. It will not be anything like just a normal watching somebody play a video game. I promise you. Once I start getting used to playing WWE again, I will also do some live. Road to Glory. I'll be playing that. So I'm streaming that live on our YouTube, so you guys can watch me get destroyed online.
By me.
By Monroe. And I will turn on my create a character invasion thing, so when Tom and Monroe create wrestlers, they can end up backstage while I advance my career within the WWE. Or I'm sorry, Ian Richter advances his career. Be warned, Ian Richter is the master of the DDT.
Oh,
This
boy.
is true.
Ooh.
So there will be a lot of DDT heavy moves in his arsenal.
I don't know
bet.
when I'll be getting it, but I will be getting it. So
It's Tuesday for me.
Yeah, it's Tuesday for me as well. I was not going to pay the extra $30 to get the deluxe edition or the extra whatever to get the Seen Enough edition. Screw that. I'll wait for the DLC characters. But yeah, so that'll be fun. Stay tuned to YouTube for that. I'm sure Monroe will be live streaming it on her YouTube channel, which you can find at
I Have the Storm Entertainment.
What do you call that channel? Rinky Dink?
Rinky Dink.
There it is. And your Twitter is also?
It is EFDS_ENT.
Come at her,
Pretty,
Hangman. Or
pretty
no,
eventful over there.
Chase. Get her, Chase.
Yeah, come at me, Chase.
Public enemy number one.
Again.
Bring it, Will,
Yeah, bring it.
with that title.
Bring it down
She'll
the
take it
side.
from you. Tom, if people want to chat with you,
they can chat with me at skids_world. And I call mine Dilly Dilly.
your YouTube channel is Dilly Dilly, or
It's
well,
Twitter.
let's not get
Just
into it.
in general,
You call
Dilly Dilly.
you call it Dilly Dilly. I get it. God, John.
You can find me Twitter, Instagram at xjohnneve.
All right, and then make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff on our Facebook, Instagram. We will be posting as much as we can from Ring of Honor this weekend and from the meet and greet beforehand.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned. Someone might be getting super kicked. That's all I'm saying.
Or possibly put in a sleeper hold by Minoru Suzuki.
Hey, there's that too. Well, the things we do
That'd be
for with our heroes. So yeah, stay tuned to all that. We'll be recapping all that next week as well. We'll go a little extra long to do that and get into TLC and our NXT segment. So thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Awesome.